Hi guys, it's Meagan here. Happy day 17 of Lent. What I've been reflecting on lately is the importance of silence in our lives. Um, it's hard to get silence among chaos. The last 72 hours have not been silent as much as I had hoped it to be. There is definitely, it was hard to find time in silence to pray, time to really be with the Lord. And when I did find myself in silence, it wasn't actually silent because my mind was running and I was constantly like, okay, like asking God questions, sharing my concerns, my worries, my fears, like any and everything that was going on in my mind. I used the silence as an opportunity to simply talk, I guess, at God in a way, which is wrong because, well, one, God already knows all that I'm experiencing, all I'm thinking. And yes, we should still talk to Him and let Him know all of it. But in those moments where I was granted silence, I really should just take it to find rest and peace and to be still. And why is this important is because, when we try to make decisions, when we try to take action amongst chaos, amongst the noise of everything, when there's a lot of smoke everywhere, and we try to like react within that noise, um, it usually leads to panic, it leads to fear, it leads to um, a lot of wrong decisions, if we're being honest. And so sometimes amongst everything that's happening, amongst all the busyness, all the responses that are needed, sometimes we just need to sit in silence to let the smoke clear a bit. But most importantly, it is through silence that we allow the Lord to speak. And so when you're granted time in silence, don't just fill it with your own set of noise or your own set of things that you feel like God needs to know. Rather, appreciate moments of silence that you have within your life and to listen to God, to listen to what God may have in store for you, what He may be telling you or leading you to do, or simply embrace that silence as rest, because rest is also very important. Rest affects not just our physical bodies, but it also affects our spiritual life, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's very important, aside just from the physical attributes, which we always assume, yeah, sleep is nice, but even having silence to mentally rest ourselves, um, it helps a lot. And it helps us make our decisions, to make wise and prudent choices. And so I pray that we find silence in our lives. We find silence in our days, daily silence. Um, and as much as we look for silence that kind of comes from God, we also have to do our part in setting aside time for silence. We have to be intentional in seeking silence as well. And so if you haven't had silence for your day yet, or if you've been having challenge to find silence um, throughout the last couple of days, take time not only to pray, yes, pray, but take time in silence. Take time in trying to simply be present with God in a moment and just see what happens. Just be. Just be. I know that sounds um, might not be easier. It's easier said than done for sure. But in quite honesty, I think that's something that we're missing in our lives, especially with all that's going on with COVID-19 and everything. And I think it's about time that we find silence in our lives and reflect on what that can mean for each and every one of us. So that's my reflection for today. God bless. See you tomorrow.